All right. So we got another patch. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have not been playing the game much. My time in the game is very much down, and I still don't really have any desire to play. I've just been playing other stuff like Deadlock. I don't think this patch is gonna change anything here. Still nothing on Klothos's trial. We've had two weekends worth of Klothos's trial, and they've said absolutely nothing. I don't know how they can say absolutely nothing, but that's what we're getting. But I mean, considering the patch notes are now like just basic, just list, no dev comments, no nothing. Oh, I'm gonna leave this because at least we've got some background music, but it just went down into maintenance. So yeah, I'm still very disappointed. The whole, oh, it's early access, we gotta give them some slack. I'm gonna address this because it was a comment on my last video. If this was a game that was brand new, fresh, new ideas, they were trying new stuff, I'd give them a bit more slack. And I did give them a bit more slack at the very start, but this isn't exactly an original idea. And they really haven't been doing very much at all. Aside from patch notes, Klothos's trial is just straight up Destiny 2's Trials of Osiris, but not well thought out for the economy of this game, or anything like that. So the whole, we gotta stop doing that. They chose to release this in early access thinking it was where they wanted it to be for early access. They could have waited, they could have made sure they had everything in order, but they didn't. This is what they chose to put out. So the whole excuse of early access, whatever, just when they're asking for money for cosmetics and stuff, no, I just, no. Now here's the thing. If they were giving us proper communication, addressing things, might be a little bit different, but it's now gone from okay communication to basically them putting out a patch note every week, and that's it. I've heard nothing outside of that. Some people in the Discord said, oh, you gotta search the community manager's name and see what messages there's. No, stop it. We should be seeing actual communication in the proper channels, and we're just not seeing anything aside from patch notes. And at this point, I just don't think that's good enough. Like, give us something. I said it in the last video. Give us something. Give us something to get excited about. There's just nothing. We want to know that you have ideas, but you're not giving us anything. Maybe you don't have ideas. Maybe you don't have something you could rip off from another game right now. Yeah, it's super disappointing. All this annoyance, all this frustration comes from a place of like, I want this game to be good. I enjoy playing this game, but seeing the way it's gone, before we get into it, let's take a wee little peek at the Steam charts. I'm sure it's not going to be too different from the last time we looked, but it's likely still on the way down because there's nothing to get excited about. So we are currently sitting at it's also 4 a.m. Eastern time right now. So, I mean, sure, but 24-hour peak is only 12,000 players. It's not great. And yeah, 3,000 playing right now. It's just like the numbers are not looking good. And again, there's just nothing to be excited about right now. Oh, we got Klothos's trial coming up again this week. I can't wait for that, because that's been a fucking shit show. Yeah, so anyway, We'll get into the very minor class balance, literally just rogue. But yeah, starting off with class balance, the Q skill, which is quick blades, added a cleanse effect. Using this skill will cleanse all debuffs on the rogue. So personally, I tend to use petrify. I know a lot of people don't like the petrify rogues because they're just like, most of the time they just panic petrify. And then you just got to sit there for 10 seconds or whatever ridiculous length it is. For me personally, I use it as just a disengage. I don't use it to like run away forever and just escape. I use it to reset, to load my crossbow, to heal, to do whatever, and then I go right back in. But with quick blades now, being able to cleanse could be really good, and you're going to see why with some of these other things. Being able to cleanse debuffs when you get slowed by a DK or light thunderclap flask, something like that. Having that ability to kind of jump back, slow them, cleanse all slows from you. I might start using this a little bit more just to try it out, see how it is. But yeah, again, with some of these changes, you're probably going to be in a little closer now, which is good. So that could be a good thing to use. But we'll see if I decide to play this game. The E skill Vanish, Swift Concealment, and Shadow Veil. So all the stealth skills. If the rogue deals unblocked active damage while in stealth, they will receive a 50% damage reduction for 3 seconds. So it's kind of crazy. It actually seems like they're maybe getting the picture a little bit here. But now, when you go in stealth and you actually get some hits, you're now going to get 50% damage reduction for 3 seconds. So you can actually stay in a little bit longer and actually do some exchanges. Now, I still think you're going to have to hit and run because it's only for 3 seconds, and then they're going to start beating the brakes off you. But I personally use Swift Concealment, the quick stealth. So I'll be popping that, going in, getting in a bunch of stabs with that 50% damage reduction, getting out again, maybe with quick blades, whatever. And then just waiting for that Swift Concealment to come off cooldown, and then I'm right back in. So this could actually be good and give rogues a chance in melee. Obviously, I'm going to need to play it a bit and see, but could be nice. Increase the backstab range of dual daggers while in stealth. So for me, the biggest issue with the dual daggers right now is just they're so janky. Like the hit reg feels super off to me. You got to be right up in their face to even get hits. And even then, you're clanking off door frames and anything that gets anywhere near you. Not my favorite, but I do like the dual daggers. But the backstab is even worse. The whole weird, super stiff animation just feels not good for a rogue. It feels super weird, super jank. Again, super stiff, not great. But you're getting increased backstab range now. It's already a little janky trying to find their back sometimes. Sometimes you get the backstab from the side and then you can't from behind. Again, it feels super inconsistent and weird, but I don't know what this range is. There's not, just like a lot of the stuff in the game, there's not very much specifics here. I don't know if it's like a meter, 2 meters, whatever. But I mean, it's something. Rogues will now hide their footsteps and cannot be heard by enemies while in stealth. So that's good. I know that's always been something for me. I find rogues super easy to pick out, whether it's hearing their footsteps coming up or just seeing them because they're not just straight up invisible when they're close. I've never had a problem detecting them. This might make it a little bit harder with no footsteps. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, actually some decent rogue changes here for like a melee type rogue. I've never really been the like just pick people off kind of rogue with a crossbow. Like, I do use it to engage or whatever and get some chip damage in early, but ideally I want to get in there in melee. That's my style. So this could be really nice for that. Yeah, that's it for class balance. I don't know. Again, I think they're decent changes for rogues. I'll have to see with testing and how they play. But okay stuff there, despite the fact that there's not really much else with class balance. So moving on to gameplay balance. The security team has enhanced monitoring and detection and countermeasures against RMT and botting. That's been a huge issue. Now, botting for me personally has been a huge issue, especially in Klothos' trial. Those first games almost always have bots in it. And with my luck, it's usually on my team, which usually puts me on in a 2v3 situation, which is not great. Yeah, I don't know what any of this means. Enhanced monitoring, detection, and countermeasures, whatever the hell that means. Hopefully they're doing something about the bots. Penalties such as trade bans and account hardware bans have been implemented. We will resolutely put a stop to any inappropriate behavior that disrupts the game environment and economy. We've also noticed that there are still instances of AFK / pre-teaming in the game. We will increase the penalties and detection methods for these issues, including, but not limited to, short-term bans and permanent bans. If you encounter suspicious players, please report them by pressing R while spectating. We'll see. We'll see if that does anything, but I get this they're sort of listening. They're sort of dealing with some of those issues. Optimize the matchmaking logic for casual mode. Waiting room time will be slightly increased. Now, one of the issues right now is just the player base is in the shitter. Let's be completely real. The player base is in the shitter. PvE players don't want to play. PvP players don't want to play. Most people don't really want to play right now, and the numbers have really fallen off. I know there's been talk of matchmaking issues, especially in casual, going in super lightly geared and facing really geared players. I personally haven't experienced that, but a lot of people have said they have, so hopefully this helps a little bit. Time will tell. The unlocking conditions for the auction house and adventurer tier system have been adjusted. After this update, these features will be unlocked after successfully escaping a match. Before we move on here, I want to look at something real quick. The achievements here. There are, if you have time, we're not going to look at them all right now, but if you have time, kind of go through these. Some of this is very, very interesting. Like stuff like this, escape 100 times. Only 1% of the player base has achieved this. There's some other really interesting ones. Where is it? Where are you? I don't remember what they're actually called, so. Escape 10 times. Even 10 times. Only 8.1% of players have achieved that. And then kill one non-ally player. So just kill one player. 11.5%. So almost 90% of the player base has never killed a player. That's crazy to me. In adventure mode. That's crazy to me. This is also very interesting. Into the fray. Adventure. Start your first adventure. Only 23.1%. So like almost 80% of the people that have played this game have never even gone on an adventure. It's super, super weird. Another one, escape once. 18.8%. 80% of the players have never escaped. That's insane. That's insane to me. There's some other ones too. I'm not gonna try and find them all, but like that stuff is very, very interesting to me. The fact that like that many people have never escaped, that many people haven't even started an adventure, like something's weird there. Something's very weird there. Anyway, yeah, so the reason I was looking at that, after successfully escaping a match, what did we say? It was like 80% of the player base has never escaped, meaning 80% of the player base is never going to have the auction house or the adventurer tier system. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that, but there's some weird stuff there. This is a pretty big one. Optimize the mithril dice logic. Equipment protected by the dice will not be allowed to be replaced or unequipped once you enter a match. Oh, never mind. I see a lot of people rolling dice and they just like roll until they get the weapon slot, and then they swap that their legendary or whatever into that slot. I thought they were gonna fix that where you can't do that, but I mean most people would just put their legendary on and then roll to try and get it, so I guess you can't really avoid it too much. Optimize the crossbow logic. Crossbows will need to be reloaded after re-equipping. So something I was hearing, but I never experienced myself, was that people would just have a whole bunch of crossbows loaded in their inventory. So they'd shoot a shot, quickly switch to the next one, shoot that shot, switch to the next one, and just like pick people off using crossbows like that. So this is pretty good. You can't do that anymore. Moving on. Now, like I know the whole thing is like, oh, the skin team is separate from the make content for the game team, like that kind of thing, and that's fine. I get it. They got to make money. You're not going to get the skin people to design maps or do balancing or whatever. But man, there's like, we've not seen much in the ways of content or even like announced coming content, and we're just, this is what we got to be excited about right now, is cosmetics. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I personally have no interest in spending money on this game with the direction it's going right now. So seeing this come in, this could be the most badass set of all time. I probably just don't give a shit because the game's not in a good state. It doesn't look like it's headed in a good direction. I don't know, just a little, I don't know, just not very exciting to me. Moving on to bug fixes. Fix several issues that caused the game to crash. Fixed an issue where victory count in the combat record would display incorrectly after Cloth's trial run ended prematurely. Issue where the Pyromancer's initial burn damage would display abnormally when igniting enemies not already in a burning state. Fixed an issue where Cryomancer's Frostberry would display incorrectly in Vengeful Monarch map. Rogue Stealth Break Venom passive would not trigger when the rogue's own invisibility ended while the team's group invisibility was still active. Next, an issue where the minion summoned by the Vengeful Monarch would display abnormally. Dragging the window in a custom game would cause the respawn time to display abnormally. The orb animation would display abnormally during switching. Weapon actions would display abnormally when switching. Blah, 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 blah. Wow. Localization, blah, blah, blah. Nothing crazy there. So yeah, I don't know, like, again, there's some decent changes here. The rogue stuff I'm gonna have to test and see, but it just, everything feels so half-assed now. Like before, like we get some dev comments, oh, we've seen that rogues aren't very good in melee right now, so we're giving them 50% damage reduction and seeing if that helps. Just like, we have no idea what the hell is going on over there. There's no roadmap. There's no future right now. We don't even have insight into their class balancing and their game balancing and stuff. I don't know. It just feels like they got intern Jimmy. They handed him a list. Here's the changes we've made. Just type them out. And that's, I don't know. To me, everything feels very half-assed right now. Just like Klothos' trial was very half-assed. Yeah. The fact that you have not addressed Klothos' trial after 2 weekends, even if you think it's fucking the bee's fucking knees, fucking say something. Address it. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Yo, we think Klothos' trial is fucking sick. I hope you guys like it. Like, it's just something. I don't know. Super strange behavior. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really have any desire to play the game right now. I sometimes try and play and I'm just bored. I'm just extremely bored. And again, not having anything to look forward to, anything to get excited about. No communication from the devs saying, hey, we got shit coming, get hyped. It's just like, I don't know. They feel like they don't give a shit about the game, so it kind of just makes me not give a shit about the game. Because it's hard to invest time into something that doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere. And again, all the frustration is just because I want this game to go somewhere. I wanted it to be good, and they're just shitting the bed right now. So yeah, I don't know. I'm doing these for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy these. But man, the passion I had for this game is not good. Not good. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, there's your patch notes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them. Hopefully they get their shit together and make this game something better, get it to a better state. Because yeah, it's not looking hot right now. Not looking so hot. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.